Hey, what's up, Club 100? And for anybody else that I shared this video publicly, for any of you guys that want more details, go to joinclub100.com. You'll get more information about what we're talking about. But this, specifically, this training is for the group. I'm going to let it open to the public so I can show people what they're missing. And I'm going to go over the seven top social media platforms that you should be using right now currently to build your business, to make money, to maximize and monetize it. Because I think everybody's on social media, but I think most people don't know how to use it. So I'm going to break down on each one of the platforms and what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing, etc. And then hopefully, for any of you guys that are interested in working with me personally, because we're going to talk a lot about advertising on these social media platforms, but also how to use them organically. You can always contact me at info@thesmashchicago.com or go to join Club 100, join my group, and eventually one day we'll talk. So anyways, next, let's go. So let's first talk about one that not many people know about, but there's a guy out there that stole my training. He used to work with an MLM company that I worked with, and I used to teach them this platform called meetup.com. Now, I've been using Meetup probably for about 7-8 years. This guy sells like a $100, $200 course on how to use Meetup to find prospects, I wish it was that easy. There's a lot more to it, and a lot of what he talks about is just, you should just have a Meetup group and you're going to be successful. But anyway, so I called this guy out, and here's the reason why I'm giving away this video for nothing and giving it as an opportunity for you to join the club, because I want to teach every single social media platform right now on this video so you can stop chasing guru after guru thinking they know these strategies and systems on how to use each one of these platforms. There's not really any secrets to any of them, because at the end of the day, all that matters is who your target market is, what your message is to that target, and then decide what media to use, and that's what these are. So let's talk about Meetup. One thing I like about Meetup, I've been using it for about 7 years. I first used it to find meetup groups. I used to go do networking, what a lame I was. And I used to go out and find local events going on and network with people and pass out my business card, and they'd give me a business card and try to get my name out there so eventually I could try to sell them the products and services that I had at the time. But what I like about Meetup is that you can, for $19, you can get 3 groups, okay? But here's the thing. Most people say, oh, that's great. They usually create one, never create the other 2, which is not smart. But not only that, they literally don't even know what they're doing when they create the first one. So this video should give you great resources on how to get it going. But it's mainly, you use Meetup for anybody that's trying to do local marketing or trying to find local prospects. Then this is the reason why you would use Meetup. If you do any kind of seminars, events, coaching, any of that, anything like that that has any kind of event platform, that's why you would use Meetup. So if you're not doing any kind of events, meetings, or whatnot, you should be, because this is a way to get people into a room that basically claim to meet you because it's your event, and it makes you an automatic leader. It automatically gives you credibility when you create events, so you should be doing them. But Meetup lets you do 3. Now, here's the most important things I'm going to talk about next is if you're going to create a Meetup group without us, because we create them for people, and this is one of the things we do in our packaging. Some people use it, some people don't take advantage of the Meetup. But topics, okay? The one key thing that I learned when you're building a Meetup group is that you got to pick the right topics. And I think they allow you to use, anywhere from 15 to 20. That number's always changed. But either way, topics. And how do you pick topics? Well, every time you go to type in a topic, let's just say you're trying to start a business group and you type in the word entrepreneur, it's going to show you all the group topics that have been used before in the past that will say that's been used by entrepreneur, women entrepreneur, entrepreneurs, entrepreneur life. They'll show you other groups that have used that specific topic, and it'll show you exactly how many people use it. So let's just say 100 people use the group, the topic entrepreneur life, but 1,000 people have used entrepreneur. Well, then use entrepreneur and don't use entrepreneur life. But topics is where most people mess up, because they'll start a Meetup group, they'll get it rolling, they'll get to the section where it says topics, and they don't really know what their group's going to be really about, or maybe they do know, but they don't know what topics to pick. So they kind of like maybe pick 1 or 2, or usually the Meetup will suggest them, and they'll take the 1 or 2 they give them, but it gives you 15 to 20. So use all of them, because the minute your group is announced to the Meetup world, because what happens is when you start a Meetup group, first it has to be approved. Usually it takes a day, right? Maybe 2 days max. And then once it gets approved, now they announce it to all the people in that zip code with the topics that you've chosen. Boom. So it's very key that you have those topics already chosen before you even do it. Because if you set up a Meetup group and you pick 1 or 2 topics and didn't use the 15 or 20 they offer you, now literally your group was only announced to maybe a 5% of the population of their network in that zip code that you've chosen, because that's the next thing we're talking about. The next key thing that you got to know when you're building a meetup group is what zip code to pick. Because you don't want to be in a zip code where there's not really a big population, because then odds are when they do announce it, there's not going to be that many people that come from there. So you usually want to create your meetup group in a city that's near you, or at least one of the biggest city that's closest to you. So like, since I'm in Naperville, Illinois, obviously I've done groups in Naperville, but I've also done groups in Chicago, because Naperville has 100,000 people, Chicago has millions of people. So why would I not create meetup groups in Chicago, even though I'm 30 to 45 minutes on a bad day from there? Because it's my market, right? So same thing for you guys when you're doing meetup. You're using this as a platform to find local people. You're using it to create local events. You're using it to create local things, right? And using it to get people that want to meet. And that's why I love meetup, because these people are actually already looking for things to do. And I used to make jokes in my old seminars that if you want to find cougar groups, they have it. If you're looking for single groups, they have it. And one thing I think it's funny, like if I go to your profile on Meetup, it lets me know all the other groups you've joined. So I remember there's a guy that I was working with back in the day, and I was telling him about Meetup, and I told him I was using it for business. So then I went to his profile, and every single one of his groups was singles groups. He was looking obviously for a date. He wasn't using it for business, but that's how powerful Meetup is. You can literally use it for anything. This is if you're going to create an event, you can use it for anything. If you want to start doing events and go on the road, you could literally create meetup groups in a city, build up the groups, get some members, and then show up to the town and do your event. You could do it if you wanted to, right? So anyways, going back to the point. So here's another huge thing. You want to join other meetup groups, as many as you can. And usually you want to join groups that have a good, decent amount of members, like thousands, right? I'll do the hundreds depending on how active the group is, right? Because sometimes people will start a group, they'll get like 120 members, they'll do one meeting and it dies out, so then it just kind of sits there. But the good thing about why I'm bringing this up is because when you join all these meetup groups, whether they're dead or whether they're live, the good thing is that when that person finally decides to let it go, because maybe they're not using it anymore and they're not doing anything with it, then when they let it go, you could literally step up as the organizer and take over that whole group. And sometimes I've taken over a group with thousands of members. So thousands of members, I take over the group. I'm the new organizer. I can change the name. I can send out an email to the whole people announcing who I am, sending my link to my company, say, hey, this is who I am, go check me out, blah, blah, blah. That's why it's such a huge thing to join other meetup groups, even if they're not active, or if they're not active, really depending on the membership and the quality of the people in that group. Because if they let go of the group, which it happens a lot, Meetup will email the whole group and saying, hey, your organizer didn't pay their payment, or your organizer stepped down. And then literally now it allows anybody to step up as long as they have an active account. So sometimes one of the strategies is when we create meetup groups, we only create 2 and then we save 1 in case that happens. So then we can immediately step up as the organizer, because you can only have 3. And then I guess if you really want to, you could have 4 accounts and own at one time we owned about 18 to 20 meetup groups. We were taking them over, but you only can get 3 per account. So we had multiple accounts, right? And back in the day, and I'll tell you some other stuff, cool stuff. But a cool thing about what I like about Meetup is, and a lot of big mistakes that people make when they create these things, they don't send out emails to their group. They just they just create an event, post it, and hope people will join it and remember it and go to it. That's why usually when I create a Meetup group, if I do an event, I make them usually sign up or register at an outside thing, not connected to Meetup, because just because they're going doesn't mean anything to me unless they've actually committed money or they've committed some kind of registration. So a lot of the times what I would do is I'd create an event on Eventbrite, right? If you guys don't know what Eventbrite is, look it up. It's spelled with BRITE. You can create an Eventbrite account where now you can set up an event, and people from Meetup, you can email them, hey, we're having an event. Go say you're going on the group, say you're attending, but make sure you register a ticket at blah, send them the link, and now they can go to Eventbrite where you've created your own, kind of like your own little mini event, and they can sign up there. You could charge for tickets, you could do it for free, it's whatever you've done. I've done both. I've done about, I want to say 400 or 500 events in Chicago, everything from networking to small little workshops to 2-day events, seminars, to you name it. I've helped people fill concerts using these platforms, etc. So anyway, one of the biggest mistakes of people that run meetups, they don't email their people and keep contact with them and communicate so they know who they are. Right? And then here's another thing. When you start a meetup group, if you don't get 50 to 100 people to join your meetup group from the day you launch it, it's either because you messed up on the topic, zip codes, all that, doesn't matter. then I would say start over. So if you start a meetup group and only 15 people have joined in the first 24 to 40 hours, because you'll know in your first 48 hours, 24 to 40 hours, you should get 50 to 100 people to join your group. If you do not, it's because your zip code was off, the topics was messed up, the description was boring, whatever, right? Because all these things are part of your meetup. They didn't feel like it was for them. But most of the times it's usually the topics. A lot of times it's the topics. People didn't pick the topics or zip codes, so now it wasn't promoted anywhere, so no one knows about it. So next one. They still do this, but now it's automatically where you cannot announce a meetup. So one of the things that we used to do back in the day, and it was a good thing that we own multiple accounts, because you can announce your event on other people's meetups groups where it'll announce it. And once 3 people say that they're attending it, it will now announce it to the whole group, right? But now they have it where it's automatically turned off, but some group leaders, old group meetup leaders, still have it on where you can go to their meetup group, announce it. If 3 people join it or say they're going, it will go out. And obviously, if you guys are smart enough to know, we had multiple accounts, so we would go on people's groups, and then we would just use our 3 accounts to say we're going, and then it would get announced to the whole group. Sometimes people would get mad, not often, but every once in a while someone would get mad. Why are you promoting on our group? It gives me the option. A lot of the stuff I'm going to talk about in this video, the social media gives me these options, so why would I not take advantage of it and use them? It might piss off certain people, but that's because they're not business people, they're not marketers. They're negative when it comes to sales, so that's their problem. They don't want to make money, I guess. Use the platforms. They're free, right? Well, Meetup's $19.99, but you guys get what I'm saying. Private messaging, right? They allow you to private message people. A lot of times we'd get venues would reach out to us and want us to use their venue for free because it brings exposure to their thing. That's one of the biggest things, that how I would get a lot of bars, restaurants, etc. let us do the events there for free. Sometimes I'd get in fights with the manager or whatever, because I guess I was able to convince the first manager to let us do it for free, and the second manager finds out later and wants to know why we're not paying. Dude, I'm bringing 50 to 100 people to your bar. They're going to pay money. They're going to buy drinks. They're going to buy food. Why would I pay to give you money? More money. Do I get a cut from the bar? Do I get a cut from the liquors and the food that's purchased there? No. One bar that we actually did an event at, he literally told me we couldn't serve food. And why? Because he didn't talk to the one manager about the event going on, and I'm going to fill the place. It's like, I feel like that's one of the biggest things I got a lot of haters locally in my local market, but also online, is that I was able to fill rooms. I'm able to fill events because I know what I'm doing on social media. I know what I'm doing on Meetup. I can get people there. That's not a problem. So a lot of times you guys can do your events for free at local places, and then you could charge if you want. Like a lot of times what we would do is charge $7 for the first 7, then we'd move it up to 15, then 30, right? Max 50. That's for people that sign up at the door just because you were too late. Or we would do a VIP option where you get 2 drink tickets, right? So that's easy. We pay for the drinks. $97 what they paid us. We buy them 2 drinks, costs maybe $10, $15, and they're happy, right? And they get to be in a VIP area that we've created. So anyways, going back to the point though, but it helps local businesses as well. So even if you had a local business and you're watching this video, you could be using Meetup and hosting events at your establishment and using Meetup to get more people to know you're there. So it's a win-win. So if you're doing events, you don't have to pay for it to host them anywhere because you're bringing them money. All right, so we're done with Meetup. If you have more questions, comment below. Find me, inbox me, email me info at the smashchicago.com. Text me at 331-207 KING 331-207 KING if you have any more questions. But the reason why I'm teaching all this is because I'm tired of people making all this money selling you programs on all these platforms when I'm about to give you all the stuff to do. And after that, there's nothing else to talk about. Now you know what to do. Stop talking and go make things happen. Let's talk about Twitter and Periscope. Most of you probably don't know what Periscope is. Periscope is owned by Twitter, right? They created a platform called Periscope that's a video platform, which we'll talk a little bit about. But let's talk about Twitter. Now, Twitter, you're not going to build a huge following on Twitter unless you're a celebrity. That's really mainly why people are on there, to follow celebrities' Twitter accounts, or maybe Donald Trump's Twitter account because he just talks about all kinds of nonsense. But if you're going to use Twitter, here's a couple beautiful things. Use hashtags because that's how people are going to find your content. Basically, what Twitter for me is, it's just a bunch of people having discussions. I would say discussions, but really a bunch of trolls having arguments with you about everything from your political beliefs to your freaking music you like to who's better, Drake or freaking whatever that guy who was go battling. That's all it is. But should you use Twitter? Yeah. Is there a lot of trolls on there? Yes. Is it great for local marketing? Yeah. People will find your stuff on Twitter. I've had the FBI find me on Twitter because I basically did a video about an ex-client that was a con artist. And I guess I was right, because why would the FBI want to know what happened? Why did I break ties with her? But Twitter is a place where you will find, people will find you in the search engine and start following your content. So I'm not going to spend all my day on there, but I'll make sure I always have content up there, because I can literally, Twitter will let me connect with my business page, my personal page, or my Instagram account. So all I got to do is post content in those areas, have them connected, so when it posts there, it posts to Twitter. So then there's always a constant flow of content. I don't have to always be up there, basically, right? But Twitter basically is good for local marketing. It's good. It's good because it connects with your business page, your personal page, and your personal page. So be on it. Don't spend time on it. Just make sure it's connected and there's actual content being delivered there if you're going to use the platform. All right, Periscope, which is owned by Twitter. So if you go live on Twitter, you're really going live on Periscope, because that's the platform they're used for you to want to do video on Twitter. So basically, when I found it, I mean, I'm up to 1.3 million hearts on my Periscope account. That means people hit my thing, tapped, and give me love 1.3 times. I like that it's a lot easier. I like how Facebook copied them, because you know how you see the hearts all going up now? They didn't have that before. That was from Periscope. They were the ones that created it. And they have right now, Periscope has 10 million users, so it's not dead. There's audience there. One thing I like about Periscope, first, it was the first live, so when I go live, anybody can join. They don't have to be my friends. They don't have to be my followers. I can share it on Twitter and Facebook, but going back to anyone can join, that means literally when I go live, it's announcing to Periscope, hey, this guy's going live, here's his headline, here's his hashtags, and if that's something you want to watch, go join him. And then people will join live, and I can literally have a one-on-one conversation with these people as they join my room, and meet people that I've never would have met anyway, because it's allowing anyone to come check out my stuff. And when I share it on Facebook and Twitter, now people from Twitter will find my content and find my Periscope account, because they're connected, right? So anyone could join. You could share from Twitter. I like that you could block people, right? I'm surprised Facebook doesn't have that, because, I don't get trolled enough, and I don't troll enough people that do video. But one thing about Periscope, if someone's trolling you or talking inappropriate, you can literally click on their name from the feed and block them instantly, and then it shows that you just blocked them, right? It's crazy. That's what I like about it. But one of the most beautiful things about Periscope is the analytics, right? They literally break down how many people watch your video per what point seconds to everything. It breaks down your analytics. It tells you everything, when people seen it, what time they've seen it. It notifies you when someone watches your replay. So if you went live and you sent it out, every time somebody watches your replay or goes to watch it, it notifies you. So what I like about Periscope, just like I like about a lot of different platforms that are doing it, Facebook's still not doing it, where in real time it's telling me what's going on. That's what I like. I want to know this data. I don't want to have to figure it out. Meanwhile, people are going on live on Facebook like every day with no content really, talking about motivation and personal development, and where's the analytics? You don't even know what your video did, right? That's why I like Periscope. But anyways, bottom line is, if you're not on it, join it. Next, let's talk about LinkedIn and YouTube. LinkedIn and YouTube. First, we'll talk about LinkedIn. LinkedIn, there's not really much there, but I can tell you guys this: I've helped people make money there. I've made money there. I still make money there. Groups, all right. So if you're going to be on LinkedIn, what I don't like about LinkedIn, which Facebook now has, that LinkedIn doesn't, if I have a piece of content, Facebook will let me share it with every group that I'm in, right? LinkedIn doesn't let you do that. You have to literally go to each group and share the content. They might have changed it by the time you watch this video. They might change it currently, but if you're going to be on LinkedIn, that's the only place you're going to get traffic. You could do stuff on your wall, but odds are people are not going to see it unless you're using certain hashtags and whatnot, because that's a big thing. You got to be using hashtags. But LinkedIn's really more for big corporations that are trying to recruit for their company, etc. That's really what it was made for. It wasn't really created for anything else but that. So that's why if you're on there, you're going to see a lot of salespeople, a lot of people with professional photos putting their resume out there. But if you're going to use it for your product, service, or business, know that groups are it. I love that LinkedIn notifies you when people check out your profile. It'll tell you who's been stalking your profile. So like if a guy, John, just checked my profile yesterday, I could reach out to John and say, hey, John, how you doing? We never talk. What do you do? And he's like, oh, God, I was just checking out your profile yesterday. Yes, I know this because LinkedIn lets me know this. Hashtags, more for recruiting. And the last thing, Juice Plus. So there was a older couple, maybe in their, I think they were like in their late 50s. They were in a company called Juice Plus. Some of you might be familiar with it. And the platform that we ended up using to help them build their business and make money and find more recruits was LinkedIn. And all we did was we created this whole campaign, Till Debt Do Us Part. We talked about baby boomers. We joined every baby boomer group that was on LinkedIn. We created a campaign talked about how you can still make money if you're a baby boomer and you want to retire. And then we did this webinar, we did a conference call. I taught them how to script it out, how to do this conference call. Now they started promoting this call in all these groups. Hey, if you're a baby boomer and want to know how to retire, talk their language. They joined it and then just followed up with all the people, start signing them up. So LinkedIn can work if you're using it and you're using groups, right? And obviously always got to have somewhere for these people to go. There's no point of being on any online if you're not capturing some kind of leads or business or customers. Notice that people do that all the time. They have no kind of marketing system at all. So let's talk about YouTube. YouTube is owned by Google. So why you want to be on YouTube, even if you're just doing a video on Facebook Live or Periscope or Instagram, you just did a video, save it to your camera roll, upload it to YouTube, make sure you have a great title, and now it's in the search engines. And make sure you put your name in the title because people might be wanting to Google search you, and it would be nice for them to see a video of you talking professional, giving some kind of expertise of things that you've done. So I don't understand why people will try to create content for 18 different platforms when you can create one video and then just share it on every platform. Like I can literally create a 10-minute video, upload it to IG Story or an IGTV. I can upload it to Facebook and my business pages. I can upload it to LinkedIn. I can upload it to Twitter. The only place I can't upload it is Periscope. And literally, I can upload it to YouTube, take one video that I want and put it on all the platforms. And then see where all the views are coming from, right? So easy. But YouTube, Google search, put your name in it, tags. Make sure that if you're using YouTube, put the right tags. So like business, entrepreneur, women, empowerment, personal development, health, wellness, whatever you're talking about, make sure you pick the right tags because it lets you do that. So when it promotes the video or when it puts it on their network, they will find it. No difference in like Meetup picking the right tags, just like picking the right topics, right? And you could Google search what are the most popular tags, blah, blah, blah. You could do all that. Advertise. YouTube's now letting you advertise. So that's something that's kind of new. And we're in the market right now testing it out. So we might be able to offer you YouTube advertisement in the near future. If not, we're already doing it because it's supposed to be very cheap and literally able to get you more exposure than other platforms. But you can advertise on all of them, and I still choose to do them all and then see which one gets me the most results, right? So make money. That's another thing cool about YouTube. You can have it every single one of your videos where other people can advertise on yours. So you know how you always get that stupid 5 to 15 second delay before you get on the video? That person's getting paid for that little advertisement to pop up on their video. So you can actually do that. You have to set it up on your YouTube account, but you can set it up where every single one of your videos you create, you can let people advertise on your stuff and then you get a check. All right, so live stream. They now have it where you can only live stream once you're up to 1,000 subscribers, but you still can do a Google Hangout, or I think they call it a Google Live, where you still can go live, but you just have to create it through Google Plus or Google Hangouts, and then it will go live on your YouTube channel. Shareability, that's why YouTube's great. It's great for you to leave content. It's great for you to have content sitting there that people can find by doing a Google search, looking for a topic or some kind of thing that you discuss in your video, right? And you can take a embed code, or you can take the share code and share it everywhere. That's what I love about YouTube. It gives you the ability to share it on every platform because they want it. They want you to share it, and they want it to be easier to share it and send it through text. I can send my YouTube videos through emails, all kinds of stuff. So that's why I like it as well. But really, it's great for embed codes so you can put on websites. And if you guys don't know what that is, a lot of times I'll upload a video on YouTube, take the embed code, put it on my website. So if you're watching a video that you signed up for, free video that I've training something, then you're really watching it on YouTube, but I use the embed code to put on my website, right? So that's another reason why YouTube's huge. So let's talk about the last two, Instagram and Facebook, right? Instagram and Facebook. Well, let's talk about Instagram first. if you're going to be on Instagram, cool thing about Instagram. One, you should be using hashtags. You should be using at least 30, because if you're not using at least, that's the maximum they let you use. But also, why I like using Instagram is if you go to the search bar on Instagram and you look up a hashtag that's in your market, let's just pretend it's health, right, or wealth, or whatever, or fitness, or whatever, you can look up hashtag fitness and it will pop up every hashtag that's fitness and show you how many people have used that hashtag. So now you know which are the hashtags are the most used and which ones you should be using for your posts, right? Don't just post and not use the hashtags, right? You see a lot of big companies, so it doesn't look cheesy, they'll put their description, then they'll put a couple of dots, and then they'll put all the hashtags because they still want to get the exposure, right? But they don't want to look cheesy on their post that's filled with hashtags. All right, story mode, right? That's one thing that Instagram created to compete with Snapchat. Basically, they offered to buy Snapchat for $3 billion. They declined them, so then they created story mode on Facebook and Instagram so they can compete with Snapchat, because since that was kind of what that was. I mean, Snapchat's really just a story mode all day. You just create little video clips, little photos, and people watch it, right? So then they created that on Instagram and Facebook. So if you're not using story mode, you should. And the same thing. So let's say I did a bunch of snaps. I do like 10 snaps today on Snapchat. I can save each one of those snaps individually to my camera roll, and then I can upload all of them to Facebook. I upload Facebook story mode, upload all of them to Instagram story mode, upload them to LinkedIn if I want, but mainly those two because that's where the story mode is. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll create a lot of my content in Snapchat because it's faster, and then I save it there, and then I'll upload it to Instagram story mode and Facebook, so now I don't have to redo videos for every platform. Does that make sense? All right, next. Instagram now has IGTV. So if you're doing content that's more than a couple of minutes long, now you can upload it to IGTV, where now it will announce it or promote it in their little IGTV network, maybe your topic, whatever you're talking about. So now people will find your videos there. And I've uploaded a couple videos to IGTV, and people that I've never met started following me because they seen a video of mine and showed me some love. So if you're not doing IGTV, it's again, if you got a piece of video that you're doing on Facebook, why would you not save that to your camera roll, put that on IGTV and see if some people find you there, put that on YouTube, see if people find it there, right? You're wasting a lot of content and that you could be reusing. Slide up. You can, once you get 10,000 followers on Instagram, you can now have people, or let people, they can go to a website. So like you see people will say, hey, I'm offering whatever, swipe on it. Well, that's from Snapchat, but now Instagram story mode has it, but you have to have 10,000 followers for it to work. So now you can add a link and say, hey guys, thank you for following me, and slide up so you can see my offer, and then it goes to their website, right? Local marketing. Another thing good about Instagram, people don't take advantage of it. When you post on there, when you go out or you're at the actual location, whatever you took the Instagram, you should tag that place, because now every person that has ever gone there or looking at all the people that have been there and all the posts, they're gonna see your stuff, right? When I was out in Chicago a lot doing like going to all these different clubs, I kept tagging myself at all these places. So now anybody paying attention that night will be like, who is this guy everywhere on all these different things? So not taking advantage of it. Now you did that on Instagram. It's great for search too. What I like about Instagram, you go to the search, you could find any account that relates to your product or service. You could find any hashtag that relates to your account and service. You could find any business that's related to your product or service by just going into their search and typing in whatever you're looking for, and it will pop up a bunch of different accounts, etc. I like Instagram lets you connect to Twitter and Facebook. So now when I post on Instagram, I automatically can share it on my Facebook and my Twitter account. Beautiful thing is, you want to have it, if you don't have your Instagram set up as a business page yet, you should create a Facebook business page, connect the two, Instagram to your new Facebook page, and now your Instagram will become a business account. Why you want that? Because now you can get insights and analytics. It'll let you know who follows you, what top cities, what the age groups will follow you. It will show you what times of day people will see your profile, but that's only when your Instagram is a business account, by literally creating a business page. From there, create it and then connect the two, turn your Instagram into a business account, so now you can start getting actual analytics and insights. Also, advertise. Right now, the guy that talks about the most is Gary Vee. Says that Instagram right now is the best place to advertise. Well, he might be right, because one of my clients got 2,000 leads by just marketing on Facebook and Instagram, but about 85% of those leads came from Instagram by using a little video talking about an offer she was giving to them, and then they would sign up and she would follow with them and sign up and sell them her product or service, right? So if you're not advertising on Facebook and Instagram, that's something you definitely should connect with us if you're watching this video, or even if you're part of Club 100. So, and then last thing, back in the day, you didn't direct message or DM anybody on Instagram unless you were trying to date. Right now, that's not so much anymore. Now everybody reaches out to people on indirect message. So if you're not doing that, you should. If you're going back and forth with a certain account all the time, reach out to them and maybe connect with them on Facebook, because then you can be more impersonal instead of Instagram where you're just waiting for the next post to wait for your post. That's the only thing I don't like about Instagram. It's just you're posting a picture and I'm liking it, you're liking it. There's not a lot of engagement until it goes into direct message, and then from there I usually try to connect with them on another platform or set up a phone call with them, right? And next, all right, let's talk about Facebook. So much to talk about. It's kind of where Facebook kind of saved me, because when I was really trying to figure out what my next step was and I wasn't sure if I wanted to do seminars yet or whatnot, Facebook was a place where I was just talking on there, and I seen a lot of my old friends in there, which I didn't send requests, and there's a lot of girls I used to know didn't send any friend requests to them either. And then I started making all these new connections and posting some kind of motivational stuff, business stuff, personal development stuff. People started calling me a life coach, and then I started playing around with this thing and seeing what is the power of it. And that's how I started launching masterminds and coaching groups, and used to do a lot of free content mainly, and used to have my own radio show on Blog Talk, and people would show up on Saturdays and listen to me talk about whatever. So Facebook is king, and we're going to spend a little bit of time on it, so take some notes, get ready. First one we'll talk about, because it's the one that's the least used, because so many people overuse it, which is the events. But what I like about events, if I am actually doing an event or launching a website or whatever, any announcement that I want to make. I mean, we used it for my family, for doing birthday events, parties. It's just a way to organize people. So what I like about Facebook events, even though most people use them and don't know what they're doing and they invite everybody and their mama to them, events is a great way for you to launch something and be able to invite every single person on your friends list. So now there's no doubt in your mind that the 5,000 people that you're friends with, which is way too many people, but if you're friends with that many people, 5,000 people now seen your event because you created an event, talked about it, posted about it, shared or commented in there. It's just a way to organize people. So if you're not using Facebook events to launch websites or to talk about a new product or service you have, or to make an announcement of a wedding or a baby, if you're not using it for business and for personal, you're insane, because it's a way to organize people. So anyways, let's talk about tagging. Tagging, they give you the option to do this, and most people don't do it because they feel like other people will be offended. And yes, every once in a while people get offended. It's just like tagging a friend in a photo that she didn't give you approval first because she didn't look good enough. It's the same. It's no different. But I'm going to tag people in everything that I want to see. Not every single day do I tag people, but anytime that I have something, whether, like, let's say I'm doing a live training today, or if I'm doing an event this weekend, or if I'm launching a new membership, or I have a new website that I launched, right? Or whatever, or I have an event going on locally, I'm going to use the tag option, because if you have an Apple phone, you're allowed to tag 100. If you have a Samsung, sorry, you can only tag 50. If you do it from a laptop, 25. But why wouldn't I tag 100 people, whether that I want to see this? I mean, I have 5,000 friends. What's wrong with tagging 100? But not only that, you could tag people in events. You can tag people in certain photos or memes. I mean, there's so many things you can do. Why would you not do it? So Facebook, definitely one of the things that you should be doing is creating events, allowing everybody to know what you're up to. You should definitely be tagging people, but specifically people that you want to see content, right? So usually when I have a piece of content, if it's for family, then I'll tag every family member I have in it. If it's about Hispanics, I'll tag every Hispanic person I know. If it's a Chicago event, I'll tag every person from Chicago I know. If it's a Facebook Live event, I'll tag the top 100 that I want. So I use tag. You should as well. Share. This is what I think is crazy. A lot of people that I meet on social media, since every guru out there is talking about doing Facebook Lives, well, that's great, but no one's sharing their own lives. Like, you have a Facebook Live with all this great content. You didn't do what I said earlier, which is share it everywhere by uploading it to your camera roll. But even worse, you don't even share it anywhere else. So you let it just lonely sit on your Facebook profile, hoping that one day someone will see it. But only people are going to see it are the people you're friends with, and that's only if their algorithm even cares that you exist, right? So these are the kind of things you got to think about. If you have the ability to share, why would Facebook give us the ability to do that? And then you don't even share it yourself. So sometimes I'll take a piece of content and share it on every one of my business pages. I'll share it in every Facebook group that I'm part of. I will share it. Here's one thing that you guys know you could do. You could share it to every single person in their messenger box. I've done this where I had a video that I think it was the end of the Titans. I wanted everybody to see the end of the Titans where I'm talking about every one of the gurus. I literally shared that everywhere, but forget about that. I shared it and sent it to everybody's inbox. Everybody, because I wanted them to see that video, right? But I don't know why people don't do that. So I share my content in Messenger, in groups, on business pages, in people's inbox, on people's timelines. Anywhere that I want it to be seen, I'm going to share it. Why would I not? It's my content. If I won't even share my content, why would anybody else want to share your own content? If I wouldn't tag my own content, why would I want anybody else to do it? If I wouldn't share or promote my own events, why would I want anybody else to do it? So I just never understand. Like, people have all these tools on social media and they don't use them. You have the ability to expose so many people to your product or service, but you don't do it because you're afraid to offend people, right? Or you're afraid that someone might get mad you tag them. If they get mad that you tag them, there's a very simple solution for that. Unfriend them. All right, so next, you don't need that kind of negativity in your life. Groups. You can not only announce yourself in every group. I've been kicked out of so many groups because what I would do I'd go to groups, see what they talk about. I would share my 2 cents. I would put my opinion. I would start sharing content about that topic. I would share my opinion on certain things, and it would get people so riled up because they want me to agree with them, right? Even though they're delivering nonsense and BS to people, that they eventually would kick me out of the group. And then sometimes in groups they would announce, they would kick Joe Cross out. If you don't like it, you can leave too. That's fine. You're just giving me more exposure. More people know that I exist. The 2,000 people that didn't even know this was going on now know who I am because they weren't even in the group paying attention. But now I got kicked out, so everyone's paying attention. But groups, you should have your own group. You should be sharing in groups. You should be having conversations in group. You should be finding people and prospects in groups. You should be unfriending people on a consistent on Facebook and requesting people that you meet in groups because you're trying to build a tribe of people that get what you're offering or get the product or service that you have that they need, and that's what you're doing. And if you're not doing that, I don't understand what's the point of being in groups. A lot of people are in groups, don't even know that. They're in so many groups, they don't even know which ones they're in. They don't ever take the time to actually go through the groups and clean them up and leave groups that you never promote in or don't allow you to promote in anyways or don't allow you to have a conversation anyways. Me and my wife have been kicked out, booted from groups so many times because people eventually become haters. Because when we start delivering content and people start paying attention, we kind of take over the group because they ain't saying anything, right? So if you got something to say, if you got value to bring to people, then you're not sharing it in groups. And that's what I love about Facebook versus LinkedIn, unless LinkedIn caught up, where I can literally take a piece of content and share it in every group. I can take a video, share it in every group I'm in. I can take anything that I have and share it in every group I'm in, right? I love that because now I used to have to use Hootsuite and other things to share it to groups, right? And automate all of them at the same time. Now, Facebook lets me do that, right? So here's another good one thing that people don't use on Facebook, and I talk about it. I don't talk about it enough online, but Marketplace. So many people don't use Marketplace, not only to sell crap that you don't need to raise capital, but another reason why Marketplace is good because you can buy things at such a cheap rate for cash because people are trying to get rid of it. I've bought iMacs on there. I've bought iPhones. I've bought MacBooks. I've bought desks. I've bought furniture. I've bought lawn care tools. Everything on Marketplace for dirt cheap. Nothing. Why would I go buy a brand new one and someone's trying to get rid of it because they're moving, right? So Marketplace is a great place for you to promote anything, product or services, even yourself. If you got something that you could sell in Marketplace, you could sell it in Marketplace right now. Just make an offer to it, right? No one uses it. But I like Marketplace because it's a great way for me to practice my negotiating skills. I'll literally reach out to 50 people for the same item, all offering the same price, and the one that first one takes it, I buy. Messenger. I am not a fan of Messenger bots. Facebook is I'm surprised they're even letting people use these things, but these new messenger bots, it just doesn't make any sense. But why you're not taking advantage of messaging people, I don't know. But one of the things I know on Facebook that when I message people and they don't respond to my messages, I just unfriend them. I don't have that time, man. It's like, if you don't want to connect, then why did you accept my friend request, or why did you send me a friend request if you didn't want to talk, right? Or have a conversation. So people don't use Messenger enough, but use it the right way. Use it just to reach out and have a conversation with people, or to ask a question, or to really find out who they are, being interested, not being interesting. But one thing I like now, every piece of content you have online on Facebook, you can now share it to someone's direct messenger box. One thing I love about Messenger too, I don't know if you guys know this, it's a great way for you to organize people for sure. Family events, business team members, put them all on Messenger, and now we all can have a conversation. I've done it many times. But one time on the reverse side, if I was trying to call out somebody on video, I shared their content in every messenger box and person they know. Because one thing about Messenger, you don't have to be friends with them to message those people, right? You can message anybody on Messenger, which is a good thing, but it's also a bad thing because a lot of people can be exposed if used properly. And that's why you'll see people, so many, what do you call it, guys sending dick pics, and stupid women can't even accept a friend request from a dude without getting hit on, or some kind of dirtiness going on in Messenger. So Messenger is for making money. It's not for dates. All right. Anyways, next. I love that you can premiere videos. You can literally, I can take this video that I'm creating right now and have it premiered on my business page. So at 7 o'clock tonight, it can announce, and it will let everybody know it's about to announce, and then it'll let everybody know again it's going live. Right? I love that. If you're not using that, you should be using it. And obviously, the one thing you should be using if you're not using it, because I've been talking about it for years, is video. Now that Facebook lets you do it live, because I think, wasn't it back in the day you couldn't even do live? You just uploaded the video, right? Like I said, Periscope was the first one that I know of that was video, and then all these other ones came up. Maybe Snapchat would still be considered video, but the only difference is you don't go live on Snapchat. You go live on Facebook. You can go live on Instagram. You can go live on LinkedIn. You can go live on all these different platforms. Why don't you? You should. And on Facebook is the king of live, but it's not just going live. You got to know what time of the day to go live, right? Usually the best days are Wednesdays to go live, usually at 7 o'clock. But here's the best tip I can give you. Anytime you're about to go live, you can go pretend you're about to go live, right? And you know how you get the live and you got to put the description to the title and all that. Immediately it'll pop up how many people are live or online right now. So let's pretend that I have 500 friends and it says 400 people are live or online right now. It's probably a good time to go live. If it says like 55 people are online right now, it's probably not a good time to go live if I want anybody to get on live. If I just don't care about that, then post a video whenever. But again, there's always a strategy on days of the week you do lives, times of the days you do lives, because it's not just about going live. And then the title of what you're going to talk about has to be killer because no one cares. So all these things in consideration. Promoting the live prior to going live is probably a smart idea. Hey guys, I'm going live in 2 hours. If you want to join me, put it in your calendar, blah, blah, blah. But lives should be used to take those eyes and people paying attention to you and drive that traffic to somewhere. Whether that's a website for them to sign up for a possible purchase, whether that's go direct to buy something, or to get something from you for free, or to set up a call. But the live should have a strategy. Unless you're just doing it to get a piece of content, fine. But every once in a while, you got to do a live where you're offering something or making some kind of sell, because there's no point of keep teaching people if you have nothing but never giving them the solution from you, right? You can't keep telling them they suck but not giving them solutions. You can't tell them that, right? So Facebook, king of live. If you're not doing them, but the one key thing, the two secrets I can give you on live is one, well, a couple, but make sure the title's good. Make sure the day of the week is the right day. Don't just do it on a day just because you felt like doing it. Make sure the time of the day is high traffic time. And like I said, you can go live right now, like you pretend to go live, and I'll show you how many people are online right now. But another huge thing about live, when you're done with it, it asks you, do you want to upload an HD? And then it asks you, do you want to save it to your camera roll? Save it to your camera roll so you can share it on every other platform. It takes like 2 minutes to put them on everywhere else. So hope you guys learned from this video. Share with me. Tell me what you think. If you want to join Club 100, just go to joinclub100.com. If you want to talk to me direct, go to info@thesmashchicago.com or call me 331-207-KING. Talk to y'all later.